How to tell who secretly hates you, even in your circle. Carl Jung. You'd be surprised how many people around you wear masks, not to protect themselves, but to hide how they really feel about you. Carl Jung believed the unconscious reveals itself in subtle ways, especially when someone's outward kindness hides inner resentment. The people who secretly hate you won't always raise their voice. They'll smile with their mouth and attack with their silence. They'll be supportive, but only when you're struggling. They'll offer advice that sounds helpful, but always keeps you small. And the most dangerous part, they believe they're your friend. Jung taught us that human behavior is full of contradiction, especially in those who haven't made peace with their own shadow. These people project their own insecurity onto you, but disguise it as concern. Notice how they flinch when you talk about your wins, how their compliments sound rehearsed, how they only seem interested in you when they're doing better than you. True hate rarely looks like rage. It often wears the face of envy. The person who secretly resents you doesn't want to destroy you. They want to be close enough to celebrate your failure and witness your fall firsthand. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The passive digs, the fake laughs, the way they disappear when you shine and reappear when you stumble. Carl Jung would say, they haven't integrated their shadow, so instead of confronting their own lack, they resent your light. They may not say a word against you publicly, but in quiet rooms with selective audiences, your name gets twisted. And the worst part? You might still call them friend, but a real friend doesn't compete in silence. They celebrate loudly. They uplift privately. They feel safe when you win, not threatened. This hidden resentment can infect your confidence without you realizing it. Suddenly, you second-guess your decisions. You hold back your excitement. You shrink your dreams to avoid making anyone uncomfortable. Jung believed that when we're surrounded by people who haven't done inner work, they unconsciously sabotage those who have. Their hatred isn't always loud, but it's consistent. It shows up in the energy, in the hesitation, in the absence of genuine support. Protect yourself, not by confronting them, but by outgrowing them. Let your success create the distance they were too cowardly to initiate. Sometimes the ones who secretly hate you are the same people who once praised you, because now you're no longer who they knew. You evolved, and that threatens their sense of control. Jung said that those who haven't confronted their own inner chaos will always project it outward. So when they see your clarity, it stings. When you set boundaries, it feels like betrayal. When you grow, it reminds them they haven't. But you owe no one your smallness. You don't have to explain your shift. You don't need permission to rise. Your transformation isn't arrogance, it's alignment. The more self-aware you become, the more uncomfortable you make the unaware. They'll say you've changed, that you're distant, that you think you're better. But they won't say the truth, that your growth makes them reflect on their own stagnation. Jung believed that authenticity acts like a mirror. It reflects back what others are hiding from. That's why some people drift when you evolve. They don't hate you. They hate what they see in themselves when they're around you. Let them go. You're not abandoning them. You're choosing peace over pretense. There's a moment when you realize silence is a strategy. Jung understood that not all battles deserve your energy. When you sense hidden resentment, you don't need to confront it. You outgrow it. You stop proving your intentions. You stop defending your heart. Because anyone who truly sees you doesn't need convincing, and anyone who demands an explanation isn't listening anyway. You learn to speak less and watch more. Not to be cold, but to conserve power. The one who knows doesn't need to shout. They move in clarity, not chaos. And in the end, the person who secretly hates you, they taught you something vital, how to see through masks. They reminded you to trust your instincts, to honor the chills, to value the tension you once ignored. Carl Jung believed that awareness is the cure. Once you see what's real, you can't unsee it. So take the lesson, not the bitterness. Carry the wisdom, not the wound. Because now you know, energy doesn't lie, even when people do. And your peace isn't up for negotiation. Jung would remind us that every hidden enemy is also a hidden teacher. They reveal where you still crave validation, where you still confuse proximity with loyalty. The truth is, not everyone meant to start with you is meant to finish with you. Some are chapters, not the whole book. Let them fade gracefully, because the story is still yours to write, and the next page is brighter without their shadow. In the end, Jung's wisdom is simple. Protect your light, but don't harden your heart. The ones who secretly hate you are proof that you're growing beyond their comfort zone. Bless them silently, then move forward loudly. True freedom isn't in exposing them, but in expanding yourself. Because the moment you stop dimming your soul, you'll see who was never meant to walk beside it.